Hello and welcome. Miku here with Koachfilm, and today we're going to be looking at a defensive analysis. We're going to analyze a match between Barcelona's youth team, which is called La Masia, and a team called Celta. Barcelona is in the dark shirt, Celta is in the light shirt, and we're going to go straight to it. What I'd like you to pay attention to is what were some of the defensive mistakes and what you as a defensive coach would have paid attention to and communicated to your team. So here we go with the team, with the match and the attack. I'm doing everything on my Koachfilm app on my iPhone, and hope that you're following along here. So here comes the attack on the left-hand side, a beautiful cross, and the player puts it into the net. A beautiful goal, really. Actually, let's take a look at it one more time. Here comes the cross, and a beautiful goal into the other side of the net. Now, let's take a look at it defensively, okay? Really, left-hand cross, and he is wide open, and the defender is not very close to him. In fact, he didn't get there, and you as a defensive coach are probably very likely to point out to that defender that you should have been closer, you should have been on the other side of that player. But what really happened, we're going to be able to take a look at it, but we're going to look at it from a very different angle. Okay, so let's go to the other angle of what really happened here. Here we go. Okay, this is the beginning of the attack, and the player is going to be taking the ball down on the left-hand side, and I want you to pay attention to the central defender that's marking the center there in the middle of the screen. Okay, in fact, a couple of things that I want to point out here. Let's go to the editor. Here we are in the editor, and one of the things that you will notice, so the ball is going to go down on the left-hand side, and they're going to cross it. Okay, so but one thing that I'd like you to pay attention to is the movement of the central defender. Right now, he's watching the ball. Okay, and he is going to be moving into this direction right here. Somewhere he decides that he doesn't need to mark his mark anymore, and his mark, noticing that he's not being marked anymore, actually makes a move right about here. Okay, when he notices, when the other defender that you see here in the corner notices it, he's going to be scrambling to catch up with that center that was left unmarked. Okay, it's not completely clear why that player was left unmarked. Maybe something else that the central defender had noticed. In fact, somewhere around in this area, in this general area, actually, is where he may have noticed that there was another a player coming. He was actually marked. The other player that was coming, he was also marked. So there's not really a good reason why he should have left his mark unmarked. But let's just take a look at it here right now. So here comes the ball on the left-hand side. Right about here, he's no longer paying attention to his mark, and his mark, the center, actually is raising his hand. Hey, look at me, I'm being left unmarked, and it just gets worse. Okay, the defender now completely is not paying attention to the player. He's looking at still the ball. He possibly notices someone on the left-hand side in the corner of his eye, and he decides to mark that person, even though he is being marked, and the cross comes in, finding this center completely open, and that poor defender, the other defender, is scrambling to try to get there. He's too late. Okay, let's look at it one more time. He's still marking, he's still marking, he's still marking, he's still marking, not marking anymore, completely left. Okay, so lesson to be learned in this one. Okay, number one, you do not leave your mark, especially not in the box. Very dangerous. Number two, if you leave your mark, do not leave the mark before you're absolutely certain that someone else is picking up that mark. Number three, if you decide to leave your mark, you need to communicate with your defensive teammates to make sure that I'm going to be going here, you pick this one up. Okay, that is the communication that happens, especially from a central defender who needs to communicate like that with his teammates. Okay, so this is where things broke down. No communication among team members, and this is my pet peeve, was just looking at the ball. Okay, you absolutely need to keep your eyes open constantly where everybody else is. So if you're learning one thing here today, is that you keep your eyes always up and looking at where your teammates and where your opponents are at all times. Okay, don't just get mesmerized on the ball. That's it from today. Thanks for watching Koachfilm. Please subscribe. There's going to be a lot more of these analyses from youth teams. So if you are a coach, if you're learning soccer, if you have a youth team, or if you are in a youth team, I promise you're going to be able to learn a lot from these analyses. Also, follow me on Instagram at Koachfilm with a K, where we have daily 1-minute snippets of analyses. Thanks again for watching. Have a good one, guys. Bye.